Welcome back, everybody. This is the Week 16 DraftKings main slate lineup builder. I'm your host, AndrewDFS. I'm an analyst with a site called FFMetrics. Go check it out, ffmetrics.com, run by the brilliant scout RC Fisher, who always has the best projections, handicapping advice, and has a game summary after every single week. So definitely check out that site. I'm also a co-host on a podcast called Huddle Up. We drop episodes every Wednesday and Thursday. Check us out on Spotify. And thank you all for coming back. Please subscribe, leave a comment, like. Your feedback is much appreciated. So, before we dive into Week 16, let's talk about the winner of the Week 15 Millie Maker contest. Halfree 5 is the recipient of the $1 million top prize. And this person did it with a lineup that featured Baker Mayfield and Rachaad White stack. So a lot of you know that we've been on Rachaad White all season, and now DraftKings is too. A lot of people are getting on him. It's evident by his salary of $7,000. I remember the days when he was sitting in the low fives. He was a steal every week, and now he's really doing some cool things. So I'm excited for him, and I'm happy for everybody that drafted him in redraft leagues or whatever and continued to benefit off of him in DraftKings contests. So it was done again with a Baker and Rachaad White stack and a bring back piece in Jaden Reed, who was cheap at 4,900 and contributed 17 points. Doesn't have a fire sign by his name, but the true value in this lineup, it was a team effort, and by spending 4,900 there, this person was able to draft Christian McCaffrey at 9,300, and that was the play that you needed to have this week. McCaffrey against Arizona defense. We talked about how McCaffrey doesn't really pop week to week, except when he plays Arizona. So the last time that McCaffrey exploded and dropped 40 plus was Arizona. Everything else was pretty much in the 30 range, which you can't really pay up a big salary for. So Arizona cannot defend the run, and that's going to be a theme of this episode too. So what else was done in this? Well, Nico Collins was out. CJ Stroud wasn't starting. And Noah Brown sitting there at 5,000. So it was a risk. Case Keenum, Noah Brown, you don't know what you're going to get. And that's why you have a 5.2% ownership percentage. Noah Brown hit. He caught a touchdown. And he was Case Keenum's number one look. 22 points out of a $5,000 player. Incredible. Demarcus Robinson, who's on an absolute bender. He has 3 games now of 3 straight touchdowns, which includes this past Thursday night. And yeah, I mean, Stafford is really looking his way. 3,600 was a steal for this guy, getting a solid 5 targets per game, 14 points. Incredible. David Njoku, who with Flacco, besides Flacco's first game, has been crushing it, peppered with targets, multiple touchdown games. He's going crazy. He dropped 30 points here. That's really hard to get out of a tight end. Props to Njoku. Njoku's really been crushing it. His targets are there, and he gets another easy matchup this week against the Texans. In the flex, James Cook. What did we talk about last week? The new OC has really been pushing this guy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I thought he's going to go for 178 rushing yards. That's insane. It's hard to predict the pops. There are players that can do it. McCaffrey can do it. Cook could do it. Amon-Ra St. Brown could do it. So you need to get lucky with that. You play, when you try to go for the Millie Maker, you need to have that guy that pops. So James Cook in this week and CMC were the 2 guys must starts. So crazy. I mean, the Buffalo O-line just punished Dallas, and we talked about this in the game review too. There was a scenario where Dallas comes out flat here, and that's what happened. Dallas's top-ranked run D couldn't really do much against Cook. And lastly, Cleveland Brown D going up against Chicago. pretty solid performance there, 3,500. Not bad for 11 points. Could have, this lineup could have been beaten with if someone replicated everything else and put another defense down there. So like Cleveland D didn't do anything too crazy. Like I think maybe Buffalo even outscored them, and they were cheap too. But I mean, starting Buffalo against Dallas, that would have been, you needed to have some cojones to do that. But a Cook Buffalo Bills D stack would have been something else. But congrats to this guy. Now let's focus into week 16. I want to preview one of your guys' lineups next week. All right, we got 3 weeks left. I want one of the viewers to hit the $1 million and be shout out on this freaking platform. So let's go into the full slate. What's going on in week 16? We're only going to preview the main slate here, and there's 9 games. Why is there 9 games? Well, you have Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night that are typically out, but there's also 2 Saturday games and 2 additional Monday night games. So that's why this slate actually looks really like everyone like has a bye week or something. No, it's just the games are more spread out, which is fun. You can submit lineups to those smaller contests too. We have in our private DraftKings league, we have a Christmas Day contest, which is pretty cool. So let's start off. Colts Falcons. Falcons 2.5 point home favorites, which is a little weird because the Colts are coming off a pretty big win against the Steelers. You have 67% of the tickets falling on the Colts. This seems like a trap game for indie bettors. I don't think Pittsburgh's all that great, or they just probably came out a little flat against the Colts. A lot flat. They lost by 20. And the Falcons, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Like they were missing their 2 best offensive linemen last week, one of which Lindstrom is their best one and like an all-pro guard. And in the rain, Bijan Robinson, not the guy you want to run. That was a bad read on us. We saw his increased target share, but we should have known that this was more of like a stay away type of game because the weather was just insane against Carolina. Now you get Colts' easy run defense. Bijan, who's coming off a bad week. Is he going to bounce back? That's the question. Colts are going to be without Michael Pittman. Jonathan Taylor will be in, so he's probably going to get a lot of run. This is going to be an interesting game. And last note on the Falcons. Taylor Heineke's making the start. So it's not like he's leaps and bounds better than Ritter, but he pushes the ball deep. So that can mean good things for London and Pitts. Next game. Panthers. Panthers, 4-point home underdogs. 86% of the tickets on the Packers. Very public team. Packers have been letting the public down. Everyone was on them against the Giants. Got crushed. Everyone was on them against the Bucks. Got crushed. Is this their bounce back spot? I don't know. I could see the Panthers pulling this one off. I think through a heavy run game, like running behind Chuba Hubbard, and that defense isn't that bad. Yeah. I'm not like, I wouldn't recommend going crazy with like a Jordan Love stack or anything. This game is really fishy. So stay away from it. I think Panthers pull out of this, and I think Hubbard and Panthers D is a sneaky good play. Packers are just free falling. It's weird because they started off the season bad, then they went on a 5-game like win streak, and now they're on a, I think, 2 or 3 game losing streak. Like, it's weird. They're just a streaky team, and right now they can't snap out of their funk. Browns Texans. Texans 2.5 point home underdogs. CJ Stroud is not playing. Joe Flacco, yes, that Joe Flacco is crushing it for the Browns. First game against the Rams didn't look all that great, but past 2 games where he got a little more comfortable, started practicing, getting used to his receivers, Flacco looks really freaking good. As good as we can possibly remember him. You got to remember, these old quarterbacks, like Flacco types, Matt Ryan, they played in almost a different NFL. This is a different game now. Like, I know even if we go back even 10 years from them and we start talking about like, like Delhomme, Testaverde or whatever, that was an even different NFL. But these older quarterbacks, they learned so much, they know so much, and Flacco still got an arm, all these rules to protect the quarterback and the receivers. That's how he's doing good. I don't think it's a fluke. I think he's got an arm, and I think the Browns are really talented. They have a talented offensive line, and it's a really good situation for him. Heck, I think he looks better than what freaking Watson looked like behind the Browns. But anyways, we're digressing too much. A lot of people are in on the Browns. 60% of the tickets. It's not too much of a heavy tilt. I like Njoku here. I like Cooper. It's hard to trust the Browns running backs because they're sort of in a timeshare or whatever. On the Texans side, really with Case Keenum, like Browns D is a really good play. I think like Tennessee has a very weak secondary. So Case Keenum, like, yeah, got it to overtime, whatever, ended up winning that game. Amazing. But yeah, I don't think the Texans stand a chance in this one. This could get ugly, in my opinion. Seahawks, Titans. So you have the Monday night winners at home pounding their chests, traveling into the Titans, who are coming off a nasty overtime loss. They're 3.5-point home favorites. Ticket counts split. I think this is a 3-point game. I think the Titans can easily pull this one out too. The Seahawks are probably on a high. The only thing to note here is that Jeffrey Simmons is going to be out, so that's really good for the Seahawks run game, Kenneth Walker or Charb. But the Titans secondary is not great either. So like Metcalf, Lockett, JSN, all good starts. Geno Smith is expected to play. I don't know how I feel about this. I just hate that they're on such a high right now, beating the Eagles Monday night, you know? If it wasn't, then I would really consider pushing more chips towards this game, but don't love it. I could see Hopkins having a bounce back game though. He didn't get fed against his former team. That must have hurt, and they ended up losing the game. Not great. Commanders, Jets. Oh, this is nasty. Jets are a 3-point home favorite. Trevor Siemian's starting. I don't know who's starting for the Commanders. I don't know if it's Jacoby or Howell, but against the Jets secondary, yeah, like Tua can carve up the Jets secondary. Fine. Tua's a really good quarterback. He's not elite in my eyes, but he's good enough to take advantage of the situation with the Jets like not really having an offense to protect the defense. But yeah, Commanders, Howell or Brissett, they're screwed. I know Scary Terry had a good game and we were on that last week. Just stay away from the Washington pass catchers here. Antonio Gibson, Christian Rodriguez are interesting running back plays, but especially if Brian Robinson out, which I think he is. But on the Jets side, I don't think Breece Hall's a bad play. I don't think Garrett Wilson's a bad play. And I don't think that Xavier Gibson's a bad play. I'm not a big fan of Trevor Siemian, but I recognize that the Commanders' defense is awful. So both teams coming off a pretty nasty loss. Commanders have been on the road for a while now. Jets, disgusting like loss against Miami. They're probably due for more of a bounce back than Commanders are. Lions Vikings, big divisional showdown here. Lions -3, over under 47.5. Public 60% on them. Okay, so Minnesota has a really good run D. They have a really good run D, and so do the Lions. But both secondaries can be had. So I see this as like a Amon-Ra game, a Justin Jefferson game, Jordan Addison, Sam Laporta, all those guys, TJ Hawkinson, they're all startable. They all have really good upside here. But what I would be very cautious about is starting Montgomery, Gibbs, Chandler. Those guys should not be in the mix. They won't be chalky, but if Madison's out for sure, I might be tempted to play Chandler because I'm obsessed with the guy. He's really freaking good. And he might overcome the Lions' strong rush defense. The Lions are weird. Sometimes they get up for a game and sometimes they don't. And I like them at -3, but literally a tick over that at 3.5. I don't like it anymore. Vikings could win this game. I'm not picking them to, but I think they could easily pull this out. Jaguars, Buccaneers. We don't know if Trevor Lawrence is playing. Bucs are a 1-point home dog. If they're a home dog, I think that means that Vegas probably thinks that he's playing, because if Vegas knew Lawrence was out for sure, that line would be tilted towards the Bucs. 63% of the tickets are landing on the Jaguars. Trevor's looked awful. Bucs are starting to get pieces back on defense. They're looking good. They did very good against Green Bay. They did very good against Atlanta. I like them. I'm really bullish on the Bucs right now. I think they're going to be the ones to come out of the NFC South, and heck, they might even have a winning record, which is a nice thing to say about someone in that division. Jaguars wise, I like Evan Ingram for a bounce back game here if Lawrence goes. And then on the flip side, Rachaad White, always startable. Godwin came back to life, but I really like Mike Evans this week because the Jaguars secondary is just atrocious. And the fact that like Godwin kind of outshined him, even though Evans did have a touchdown last week, I think this could be like a big like multi-touchdown game for Evans. So I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite starts this week. Cowboys, Dolphins. Dolphins, 1.5-point home favorites. Cash is on the Cowboys. Sharps are on them. I don't know if I buy it. I think I'm going to be chalky with this. I think that Miami's going to win this game. And the reason why I say that, I know Buffalo just kicked their butt, but there's a reason why they kicked their butt. I don't think Dallas is all that great. They go up against a team that is supposed to win, right? Like, where not every advantage is tilted towards them, like playing bad quarterbacks or playing the Eagles off like a 3-game gauntlet, and they look awful. They got crushed by San Francisco, crushed by the Eagles early in the season, and then they get crushed in Buffalo. Like, you're playing good teams and you keep getting crushed. I know that there's some bounce back regression. Something's going to come through here, but Matt, if Tyreek Hill is in this game, I don't know how Cowboys win this. I really don't. So that's my play there. I mean, it's hard. Like, I think that all the concentration is going to go on CeeDee Lamb, so Brandon Cooks could end up being a good one in this. Like, but this is a tough game. If Dallas loses this one too, that locker room, forget about it. They're going to be so demoralized. They can't win on the freaking road. They lose this, they're going to lose control of the division. Even if they win out, they're still not going to win their division because of some tiebreaker with the Eagles. So, like, this is a must. Like, they have to win this just for the locker room's sake. Cardinals, Bears, last one. Man, Cardinals cannot stop quarterbacks. They can't stop running backs. Now they're on the road. Bears D has been really, really good. And the only thing I don't like about this is that it's chalky. A lot of people are on the Bears. 60% of the tickets are landing on them. I don't love that. But man, Fields and Moore, like, how do you not play the stack? Are you kidding me? Like, even against the Browns, Fields and Moore hit. The Browns have one of the best, if not the best, secondary in the NFL. And you're telling me you're not going to play them against the Cardinals in what's okay weather? Winds under 15 miles per hour, very slight chance of rain. Like, how do you not play Fields and Moore? This is going to be like a fire. I think this could be easily fireworks. I love Roshan here too. Okay, so that was our preview. Let's go into DraftKings and start analyzing all the different positions. So you guys know the drill. I'm going to go in by different salaries and just comment on which expensive guys I like, which cheap guys I like, etc. So we'll start with 7,000 and up. From the 7,000 and up range, I like, obviously you're not going to play Stroud. I love Fields this week. My second choice would be a Tua Tyreek stack because Tyreek needs to get on pace. They're trying to get the guy to break 2,000 yards. So he's going to probably have a big game here, especially against the Cowboys. I could see that being a nice one. And Cowboys D, they're very opportunistic, meaning that like they'll jump on routes. Like Tyreek can probably burn these guys easily. And Dak I would avoid. So I can't trust Dak right now. He does not deserve to be 7,900 on this slate. Forget that. It won't be chalky if you want to play him, but I don't know. People love the Cowboys. They have short-term memory with them. They don't realize that they haven't made an NFC championship game since the 90s. So, anyways, I digress. Number one choice, Fields. My second choice would be Tua in the 7,000 range. Obviously, with Fields, stack DJ Moore. You have a choice at Komet as well. They've been linking up a lot lately, too, that I want to take off my disclaimer of not playing Komet with Fields because Fields is starting to look his way. And with Tua, I mean, if Tyreek's there, I don't think Waddle's playable at his salary. It's going to become a Tyreek show. So those are the 7,000 guys I like. Now let's go into the 6,000 range. I could see a case for Goff. I'm going to pass on Lawrence because Tampa Bay defense is really coming on. Jordan Love, nope. Murray, not against Chicago. Definitely not Howell. And Baker, I can see. I could see a case for Baker. If you wanted to Baker and Evans stack, even though that's exactly what hit last week, I can see that hitting again this week because the Jaguars secondary is awful. So that is an option for you folks. I like Goff too. He's in a dome. I think that he can do okay here. And especially against the defense that dictates that you pass against them. I'm okay starting Goff, but obviously like $200 more, I'm looking at that juicy Justin Fields matchup. Sorry. Like that's where my eyes are going. Okay. Simple. And with Goff, Laporta, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, both excellent stats. It just depends on how your lineup fits. Like, what do you want to do? Both are excellent plays. I like Amon-Ra a little more this week just because he hasn't had that, like, 30, 40-point game yet. Like, he's due for something. Like, Laporta's been just crushing every single week. Like, I think it's time for Amon-Ra to say, yeah, this is my, like, 150, 10-catch, 2-touchdown game. Okay. Now let's get into the puke range. This is where you get nauseous and you're like, am I really doing this? Well, let's see. Minshew against Atlanta. I can't see it with Pittman. I think Atlanta's due for a bounce back here, so pass. I could see Geno. I don't love it just because Seattle's on a high and he's coming off an injury. I like Flacco. I think Flacco's the most interesting one that I've seen. Pass on Mullins. I can't. I don't trust him. I'd rather gamble on one of his receivers popping off, but he's hard to trust, man. He is not a good quarterback. Will Levis questionable. He could be in for a bounce back, but so far I think Flacco's my one. Beathard, no way. Locke, no, he's not doing that twice in a row, even if Geno didn't go, which he is. Ritter, benched. Tannehill, I don't know. If Levis doesn't go, Tannehill's kind of interesting. Tannehill's actually really interesting if Levis can't go. But I wouldn't do it. It's just interesting. Keenum, nope, not against Cleveland. Brissett, not against Washington. Heineke, maybe. Bryce Young, nah. Play Hubbard. Don't do Young. I want something in me thinks he's gonna like just have like one good game, and maybe this is it. It's they just don't have enough, man. They don't have enough weapons. Go get T. Higgins, Panthers. Go get T. Higgins. I'm not a big fan of Bryce, but you're all in, man. Like, give the kid a shot. Like, what you guys are doing to his career is just freaking pathetic. And then Simeon against Washington, maybe. I mean, 4,700. Like, I could see a case for it, for sure. You can play Wilson. You can play Gibson as well. Like, make it a crazy stack and just freaking go expensive everywhere else and just pray that Simeon hits you against that crazy good like that terrible Washington defense. So, okay, from the pukes, my favorite play is Flacco. My second favorite would be Heineke. And my third, like, out of nowhere, like, I could see the logic there, but it's really nasty, Simeon. So, with Flack, Cooper, Njoku are the guys you want to look at as options. With Ritter, London, or Pitts, those guys are... not Ritter, Heineke. Heineke likes pushing the ball deep, so definitely someone you want to really play Pitts and London there, who are really good deep threats that have been criminally underused. And we talked about Simeon. Now let's talk about the running backs on this slate. Okay, we will do the same game, 7,000 and up. Gibbs, nope, not against Mini. A-Chain, maybe. Weird feeling this is going to be an A-Chain week, but with Mostert there, it's almost like, do you pay up for either? Because they split. Like, when you see two running backs here, like Gibbs, Montgomery, Mostert, A-Chain, you need your running back to explode at that salary. Like, it's literally a crapshoot. So, not only, like, are you going for a good matchup, but then, like, everything needs to go your way, and the other running back can't do good. Like, that's tough, man. That's why I hate playing, like, time committee guys. As opposed to pay a little more. Rachaad White, the most expensive running back on the slate. Let's go, man. Look at our boy. Damn. That is crazy, man. I'm genuinely happy right now. I'm not going to play him, but damn. I did not see that coming. Shit. Good stuff, Rashad. Anyways, 7,000 and up, my play would be Taylor here. I don't love it. I feel like I'm being forced into it. Actually, no, I take that back. My play would be Rashad. I don't trust Indy's game script against Atlanta. I don't think they're going to be running a whole lot, but maybe that means checkdowns for Taylor, especially with Pittman out. So let's go Rashad 1, Taylor 2, but I'm not like jumping out of my seat for either. But as you can tell, I was really excited for Rachaad White for selfish reasons. Anyways, 6,000 and up. So Brian Robinson out, pass. Breece Hall, I can see. Kenneth Walker, good matchup, questionable, scary. Bijan Robinson, due for a bounce back. I could see that too. Aaron Jones, if Dylan's out, it could be something. I don't think this... Let's see if Dylan's out. Hold on. Before I make that call. He's questionable. Let's read into him really quick. Did he practice? That he feels good about the running back's progress. Yeah, if Dylan's playing, I can't go Jones. The Packers have just stagnated. But maybe that means this is his week too. Like, you do like chasing that in DFS. So I like Bijan, pass on Jones. Moss is out. ETN, I would not play with Tampa's run D with Vita Vea. That's the big distinction. When Vita Vea is there, you don't want to play running backs. Pollard against Miami. Nope, no thank you. Henry against Seattle. Can't do Henry. Sorry. Even though it's a good matchup, just don't see it. Especially like if Tannehill goes in, that game script can get away from them. And they're out of the playoff picture. Maybe they're going to try to push Spears. So in the 6,000 range, I like Bijan and I like Breece Hall. I can't believe I'm doing Bijan 2 weeks in a row pushing for him, but I think when the fact that the guy didn't like get used as much makes me think that Arthur Smith's gonna push him this week, and they're getting their Chris Lindstrom's most likely playing, so there is hope, people, but not again. I think that I'm gonna go cheap on my running backs this week. I'm not loving too much of anything, so now let's look at 5,000 and up. Charb would be a great play if Walker's out and he is cheap, which is fantastic. Gibson, maybe, but like he didn't get too much run against the Rams. It's just that like he's going to be great for checkdowns. He caught 5 balls against the Rams. I could see it hitting, but again, I think there are better options like close to the price range. Ford pass, Singletary not against Cleveland, Ty Chandler. If Madison's out, yes, but as of right now, it's a no because I think Madison's playing, and we can look him up really quickly. Is listed as questionable. Madison returned to practice on Friday. Yeah, he's probably playing, so I'd be careful. And I don't trust KOC at all to push Chandler over Madison. I think it's Madison's backfield, so that's what makes it a little scary. Chuba Hubbard, I like a lot this week. I think that Carolina's just going to feed this guy. It's his backfield. So, and he popped off some really good runs. Let's look at Hubbard since Reich had got fired. So the first game that Hubbard had against without Reich was Tampa, 25 carries. Second game without Reich at New Orleans, 23 carries. Against Atlanta, 22 carries. This guy is getting the freaking ball, and DraftKings is realizing it by kicking up his salary, but he's still, for 20 carries, I will pay up $5,700. Oh yeah, if this guy gets a touchdown or two, it's going to be a really good play. So, in the $5,000 range, to round up, Chandler's a hold, Hubbard's a buy, and that's it. And Charb's also, watch for it. You got to watch for Charb. Okay. Dylan, I wouldn't do it. Dearness Johnson, nah. Sermon, no. Hunt, no. Rashawn, yes. Yes, I would play Rashawn. If you want to go crazy with the Justin Fields stack, Fields, Rashawn, Moore. Chicago's sort of out of the playoff picture now, so I think they're going to try to give this guy more run. He had more than 50% of the snaps last week. He led the backfield in snaps. He's being used more. He's electric. And Arizona is god-awful against running backs. This is a smash play, but he shares the backfield with 3 other people. So that's why he's priced at $4,800, folks. And that's why he's probably not going to be chalky. I'm doing it. AndrewDFS is having this guy in his lineup. I have a really good feeling about him this week. Goodson, pass because Taylor's playing. Spears, I could see him doing well too, but I'd rather play Roshan. Foreman, question. Oh, I hope this guy goes out. That means more Roshan. Algier. That was a one-time deal last week. I don't think the guy's taking over the backfield. I think it was just Bijan can't run in between the tackles. He needs to like kind of go outside and in a pound in like a grimy grind out great game or whatever. That's more of an Algier type of running back, a plotter. That's why he got a lot of run. DeMarcado, pass. I mean, Connor's back. He's tough to trust. Let's look at Khalil Herbert. Damn. Guy only had, look at this, man. He looks like he's freaking phased out. Bears backfield committee didn't provide much fantasy value in this one. Rookie Roshan Johnson. Oh, guys, by the way, if you didn't know, Roshan Johnson was Bijan Robinson's backup in Texas. Kind of funny. Herbert, no. Pierce, no. Rodriguez, yeah, I could see Rodriguez hitting this week. Definitely. He was getting run. So he's going to have his opportunities. He's not going to have 26 carries like Hubbard will, but he's getting run. Dowdle, pass. Sanders, nah, he's not getting used. Let's open up Sanders' value. So in a game against Atlanta where you're just literally running the ball, only 6 carries, 10 against New Orleans, 8 against Tampa, they're going to run the ball a lot, no matter what. Even if they're getting blown out, they don't want to trust Bryce Young with the ball. Um, and I think that's all she wrote. There isn't a whole lot down here that I like. Yeah. Okay. Let's say bye to Kenyon Drake and move on. And Drake was such an awesome play like 4 or 5 years ago when he was with Miami. He had this like crazy like Sunday, Monday night game where he popped off and I had him in the lineup. It was so freaking beautiful, man. The guy had like 2 touchdowns on Monday night. Oh man, Kenyon Drake. What a name. What a freaking name. Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill questionable. I would play him if he's ready to go. If not, Waddle becomes a good play this week. I didn't think Waddle would do well against Sauce. That's on me. He exploded. I think he does well against Dallas, given that he can beat the Jets secondary. Dallas, again, opportunistic. They're gonna jump routes. They can easily, those corners, that secondary can easily get burned by these guys. Lamb I'm passing on. I think Ramsey's gonna be on Lamb and give him fits all day. Amon-Ra St. Brown, yes, please. Yes. He is going to smash. This is his game. So, Amon-Ra St. Brown, let's open him up. So, he had a buck and a touchdown last week. So, I can't say he hasn't been doing well. But before that, he had some 3 underwhelming performances dating all the way back to Thanksgiving. But this is the type of game I'm looking for. I'm looking like for this like 10, 150. Look at this 19 freaking targets against Baltimore, man. Gee, well, they were down the whole game. But yeah, I mean, this is a game where Amon-Ra should be used a lot. And then a good piece to put with him, obviously, Jameson Williams is the definition of DFS. If you looked up DFS boomer bust plays in the dictionary, you'd see like Gabe Davis and Jameson Williams right next to each other. Those are the type of guys that, like, if you're going in on a stack trying to win the millie, that's who you want in. You want a big play to Jameson or something, and that'll make you stick out in a pool. So okay, we're doing 7,000 and up. Evans, I love this week too. Jefferson, it's hard to trust with Mullins, man. It's so hard. Like, I don't know. I think he can do okay, but damn, like, you're paying too much. Like, there's just too many other good options here that I would have to pass, but I'm kind of like scared to be honest with you. And Pittman, questionable. And even if Pittman plays, he's drawing AJ Terrell, who shut down Mike Evans a few weeks ago. So yeah, I mean, Pittman is not the receiver that Mike Evans is. So take that for what you will. My 1A, 1B plays, Evans, Amon-Ra. Those are the ones I really like. And I'm gonna push more towards Evans if I had to choose between the two, because with Amon-Ra, there's just so many people there. With Tampa, it's literally Godwin, him, or White. It's 3 options. With Detroit, I can list you off like 5 different people that can score. Laporta, Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Montgomery. Heck, even those other freaking no-name receivers, Jameson, Khalif, whatever, Reynolds, they get touches. Like, the other Tampa receivers don't really get touches. There's no tight end. Kate Auden doesn't take targets away from Mike Evans. So that's my reasoning for going Evans over Amon-Ra. But I still really like Amon-Ra. I'm not trying to put him down. 6,000 and up. Hopkins could have a bounce back game. I'm going to pass. Godwin's all of a sudden playable and bad secondary. So if you don't want to pay up for Evans, I think Godwin's a perfectly fine play. Calvin Ridley, no thank you. Not at that price. Cooper, I would play with Flacco, especially no Stroud there. So they're probably that offense is not going to be able to keep the Cleveland offense off the field. And what I mean by that is Houston's not going to be able to control the ball to really make this a time control game, which could suppress the passing attack. Metcalf, I really like this week. Yeah, Seattle secondary is really bad. Tennessee secondary is really bad. That could easily hit. Nico without Stroud against a bomb secondary. Nope. And DJ Moore, yes. So let's round up. Did I miss one? I missed Jordan Addison. I think Addison's startable too. So lot of $6,000 guys that are startable here. So Addison, Godwin, Cooper, Metcalf, DJ Moore. Number 1 play, DJ Moore, in my opinion. Number 2 play, DK. Has to be DK with Geno. Against that secondary, you have to play DK. Then it's almost like a 3-way tie between Cooper, Godwin, and Addison. I don't think anything stands out. I would put Addison slightly under the 2 if that helps you guys make any decisions. Just because he's sharing. And Hopkins, I'm just going to leave out because there's just so many better options. Okay? 5,000 and up. Let's do it. Okay. Well, Hollywood Brown out. Ooh, that's interesting. Drake London. Yes, I would play with Heineke. Even though the Colts are red here, their pass defense is red, I would play him. Noah Brown, not against Cleveland secondary. Cleveland's going to crush these guys with Keenum. Dobbs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust Dobbs or Reed in this spot. Not against the Panthers. Like, so Panthers have sort of like almost a fake good pass defense. It's like plastic surgery fake. Like, there's something to it where, like, it's not fake ugly, it's like fake beautiful. Like, they do have some players, if that makes sense. Like, they're not disgusting where they can't stop the run and that's why people pass over them or whatever. Like, they're okay on the pass D. They're not the third best secondary in the league by any means, but they're decent. They're decent enough to stop Reed and Dobbs, if that's fair. Downs, yeah, pass. Not against Atlanta. Atlanta's secondary is kind of similar into that. It's sort of similar to Carolina, not to the same degree. I think they're a little better, but anyways, man, Lockett has how the Giants have fallen, man. Lockett 5,600, crazy. Pass though. McLaurin, pass. Not against Sauce. Garrett Wilson, I would play, and Thielen, I would play. Out of the 5,000 guys, my play here is Drake London. I think Drake London's going to get a lot of targets with Heineke. The games where Heineke played, he wasn't in. So the first time Heineke went in was, I think, the Tennessee game, and that's when London got injured. And then London came back against Arizona, but then Heineke got injured. So this is the first time both of them are healthy stepping on the field together. Fireworks. Cooks. So now we're doing 4,000 and up. Cooks I like. Samuel, no. Watson's doubtful. JSN I could see. Dotson, not against the Jets. Wicks, no. Elijah Moore, pass. Is he getting targets with Flacco? Let's double check what he's been doing. He had 1 week where he had 12 and then just tailed off. So let's pass on that. Zay Jones, questionable. Woods, yeah, I wouldn't play Zay. Woods, I wouldn't do either. Not against Cleveland. Pierce, I wouldn't touch. Dortch, questionable. Dude, who's going to play for Arizona? Are they literally going to have no one to throw the ball to with Dortch and Brown potentially out? We'll have to figure that out as we get into the bargain bin. But okay, $4,000 guys. My number 1 guy is Cooks. I could see JSN. And that's it. If Dortch goes, I kind of like him. But the fact that he's injured makes me want to play like a healthier like Arizona receiver or even Trey McBride. Okay. Now we're in the bargain bin. KJ Osborne, no. PJ Washington. If Lawrence is playing, maybe. Or so is it Parker Washington? Let's get his name right. Let's be professional. Sick. You don't even give me his name. Do better, Roto World. You're just calling him Washington. Alright, since the Roto World isn't giving his first name, I'm going to call him Parker Washington. I think his first name's Parker. Sorry, Mr. Washington. Anyways, yeah, he's drawing targets, but without Lawrence, it's really tough to trust. So, pass. Jameson, I would play. So, he's 1. Wilson, yes. So, if all these guys are out, Wilson's a go. And I love it against Chicago. First game back was against San Francisco, only drew 3 targets. But before then, he was starting to come along. He had one game against SF where he got 2 touchdowns. That's when he sort of came on the map. But yeah, I mean, he's a big target. He's really good. Watch for the injury report there. Mingo, pass. Moore. I could see that too, but if both of them are out, I would probably lean Wilson. DJ Moore's... I'm kidding. I was going to say DJ Moore's brother. Bad joke. I wouldn't play this guy. Agnew, pass. Hollins, pass. Montgomery, David Montgomery's twin, pass. Tillman, pass. Reynolds, maybe. I'm just not excited about it. Jake Bobo, my guy. Need injuries to do good. He needs like Lockett or DK to go down, and then it'll become a very interesting play. Mooney, nope. Heath, no. Lazard, no. Gibson, yes. Slot receiver, backup quarterback, yes. 3,100. Not a bad play whatsoever. And he's getting run. Look at this. He had 6 targets against Atlanta. 1 against Houston, obviously. That was sort of a game where it was, first of all, the weather was bad, and they went up big, so they were just running it out. And then 6 against Miami. So, yeah, he can easily pop off here. And especially we're towards the end where, like, you know, end of season, where they'll even try to give, like, rookies more run. I like it. And I think that is all she wrote for wide receivers. Man, John Mechie was so good in college. I'm just waiting for the guy to pop off. He was one of the Bama receivers. It was Mechie and Jamison Williams. They were stud receivers. Both got injured before the title game when Georgia beat Bama. Okay, we digress too much. Tight ends. Laporta. I think Laporta is playable every week, but I think this is Amon-Ra's week. TJ Hawkinson against his former team. Ooh. This is interesting. But it's Mullins. Damn it. I forgot about Mullins. God, man, that would have been such a cool story. McBride. Now with all of these freaking Arizona receivers down, McBride becomes very playable here. He's been on a freaking bender since Ertz has been down. Look at this guy. Oh man, he is something else, man. What a great like late season pickup for folks. Like, so good. 11 targets. Like, Kyler's looking his way. He's doing great. I love it. I love McBride. Okay. Ingram. If Lawrence goes, Ingram is a very good play. Njoku, yes. Flacco's going, so he's definitely a good play. So of the $5,000 and up, my number one play would be Njoku. Then I would tie between like McBride and Ingram. And it's more of a watch with Ingram and McBride. You need to know that the receivers are all out for Arizona for that to be a smash spot. And for Ingram, you need Lawrence there. If Lawrence isn't there, don't even think about it. Okay. Ferguson, I'll pass. Schultz, pass. Komet, questionable. Huh. I didn't know that. What's this guy dealing with? Limited. Okay. We'll probably be fine. Yeah. I think he's alright. Pitts. Yeah, I could see a case for Pitts. He's gonna get a lot of looks deep. Like, Heineke was looking for him, man. Like, there were some failed connections there, deep shots. Like, I think it's gonna hit. And you're in a dome against like not the best secondary. I can see it. Tucker Kraft. So now let's get into, so of the $4,000 guys, Pitts would be my play. 3,000 and up. Musgrave, nope. IR, obviously. Tucker, I don't love it. Thomas, pass. Otton, pass. Conklin, again, bad quarterbacks look to slot receivers and tight ends, so I can see Conklin doing okay. And then Luke Farrell, for whatever reason, is priced at $30,000, but why? Okay. What the hell is going on? Why is he so much more expensive? He should be $2,500. Whatever. If that's what you want to jack up the price on, sure. It's so weird. Like, you're gonna make Luke Farrell only $100 difference with like Xavier Gibson. Like, I like it for me. It's just that, like, what the hell are these guys doing? Anyways, watch Farrell go off. If Farrell goes off, I apologize to the DraftKings algorithm that prices all this stuff out. Let's see if there's anything in the bargain bin. This is really, like, these are cheaper than defenses. Nothing I see here, guys. Sorry. I don't think I have a good one for you. Yep. We're going to have to pass and go to defenses. Okay. Packers D is deceptive. I will not play this. 3,900, pass. Colts against Atlanta, pass. Commanders, pass. Texans, pass. What the heck is going on? Lions, I don't love it in the road against Justin Jefferson, possibly Ty Chandler, Hawkins. They have weapons. Addison, pass. First playable defense, the Cleveland Browns. I would play them at 3,400 against Case Keenum. Atlanta against Minshew at home. I could see a case for it, but I like Cleveland better. Seattle on the road after Monday night. Yeah, pass. Jets, yes, against whoever's starting for the Commanders. Cowboys, pass against Miami. Why are you $3,000? Are you kidding me? Man, this Cowboy hype is so freaking crazy, dude. Against Tua and Tyreek, you're pricing them there. They should be like 2,500 or something. Oy, okay. Jaguars, pass. Bears, yes. Bears D's really been coming on. Arizona D can't stop anybody to save their life. Dolphins D, if you want someone like, you want like a cheap, like, under the radar play, maybe they can blow out Dallas, but for cheaper you can have the Bucks without Trevor possibly, so keep an eye on that. And other than that, Titans are sneaky, but I wouldn't. Vikings, maybe. And Panthers could hit. If you wanted to go with the cheapest defense this week with Carolina, I think you could do worse. I really think you could do worse than Carolina. I think they could easily give you back like 5 points. Let's see what they've been doing lately. 8 against Atlanta, 3-3-2-0, 7-4. Like, dude, at 2,400, if they can even get you like 4 points, a pick six, something, it's definitely worth it. So I think that's a cheap, like, out of nowhere play. All right, folks, that rounds up week 16. We are so close to the end of the season, and I appreciate all of you guys for following me on this journey through 16 weeks. If you like this content, please subscribe, leave a rating. Feedback is really, really appreciated. Again, I'm AndrewDFS. I work for a site called FFMetrics.com. I'm an analyst there. I work alongside the brilliant RC Fisher. Check it out. Best projections in the game, in-game commentary, and also handicapping advice. So please check that out, and check out a podcast that I'm a co-host on, dropping episodes every Tuesday and Wednesday called Huddle Up. You can find us on Spotify. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you the best of luck on all your betting ventures this week, and best of luck to those folks that are still in it in the fantasy playoffs. Thank you. We are out. Happy holidays.